Morning everybody, Rick here, and I am in Sumner County, Wellington, Kansas at this Hargis Stone Arch Bridge. And I got to tell you, this is a first. I was expecting another 5-mile back county dirt road out in the middle of nowhere. So this is a little different. It's a lot different actually. It's kind of nice for a change. It's all paved roads, not too far from downtown Wellington actually. Kind of pan around here a little bit. There's actually this area right over here is where they have their yearly festival. However, because of what's going on, they're not having it this year. But you know, there's a ball field just right over here, and then there's just other tennis courts over here. But that's where I'm at, and I'm going to show you around here in just a little bit at this bridge. It's really very different for me. It's nice for a change though. It really is nice and peaceful and quiet this morning. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to show you this Stone Arch Bridge and give you a little bit of history on here in just a minute. Okay, and again, this is actually called the Hargis Creek Stone Arch Bridge, and it was built in 1953, and it does have 3 arches on it. It's pretty overgrown, but we'll see if we can get down here and get a closer look. Big huge ditch here. Goes quite a ways down. There's a little pedestrian bridge right down there. But this actually has 3 arches. I'm going to walk around here a little bit and see if we can see the other 2. Let's get down here a little bit closer. Okay, here we go. There's 2. There's a 3rd one on down there, but it's really quite overgrown. I'm going to see if I can go around the other side and get a better perspective, hopefully anyway. So let's go over here and see what we can find this morning. Walk up this hill here a little bit without falling down, hopefully. Alright. It's very much an active bridge. It's all been redone, I would suppose. But at any rate, here's the top of the bridge. Now this all does appear to be all original. Using my action camera this morning for a change, I try to switch off and on. Oh, this must be Hargis Creek. I've been going to this festival in Wellington for years, and I never paid any attention to this Stone Arch Bridge. Of course, I wasn't into Stone Arch Bridges at the time. When they put on a car show, usually as a rule, and that's why I went for, was for the car show. And let me go over here. This is really kind of steep. And of course the grass is wet this morning. But let's see if we can get it. Well, we can. Barely. But there's the 3rd arch. Let me see if I can get kind of down here a little bit. And as you can tell, it's really quite overgrown. I'm going to go on the other side here in just a minute, and we'll check that out. You can actually see through there. Well, kind of, sort of. Looks like this side's all been filled in. It's been filled in quite a bit. It's still cool. Built in 1953. It's got 3 arches. Oh, again, and these are very large. I know you can't tell it in the video. Let me see if I can kind of get over here just a little bit. All right, well, let's swing around here. And now this over here looks to be fairly new. This little place has got picnic tables and it's got some benches that you can sit at. Of course, normally when I go here for the festival, I do not go down this far. So, but it does appear to be fairly new. And of course, these are tennis courts. Might be a school over there. Okay. Very dewy this morning, but that's okay. Put up with a little bit of dew, I guess, in exchange for not having to drive 5 or 10 miles down a dirt road. But anyway, I drove over this like 4 times. It kept telling me to turn on 8th Street and turn on back on 9th Street. I was going in circles. But I was not looking for the Stone Arch Bridge within the city limits. So that was kind of strange. But here you can see the 3 arches. This is really very, very, very overgrown. Yeah, I just can't really get, it's just so overgrown. But I'm gonna walk around here to the other side here in just a minute. Now this might be a little bit better. There we go. Not a real old bridge, relatively speaking. Most of these I go on are late 1800s or early 1900s, but that's okay. It's still a cool bridge. It's still a Stone Arch Bridge. It's actually got 3 arches, and that's really cool. We'll walk around over here and see if I can get a better vantage point. And I know this concrete railing is all original. There's no plaques or anything that I'm aware of. But I got this off of bridgehunters.com. I know I talk about that a lot, but that's where I get my source to find these bridges. Okay, we're going to walk over here. Oh, wow, this is so cool. Look here. Now, there you go. Okay, there you go. See, there's 1 arch, 2 arches, and then 3rd arch is kind of back in there a little ways. Let me get over here a little bit. Well, I'll have to do the math when I get home, but this has got to be like my 23rd, 22nd bridge, Stone Arch Bridge. Well, they have not been all Stone Arch. I've done a few of the Pratt Truss bridges, as they're called, and then I've done some of the they're called stringer bridges, and I've done a few of those. This was a pleasant surprise this morning, finding this located where it was located at. Really nice for change, and I'm not going to walk any further because this is really steep, and it's all overgrown, and I'd go sliding right down into that mess, and I'm not going to do that this morning. This is probably good right here. This is actually the other side of where I first started at this morning. You can barely catch the third arch, but it is there. Kind of get down here a little bit. And there's metal. It's lined with metal, of course. These aren't quite as large as some of these stone arch bridges I've been to. They're the size of a small car. Some of these are. But nevertheless, it's still a stone arch bridge, so that's all good. But yeah, I think bridgehunter.com did say that the third arch was filled in quite a bit and not real visible, but you can still see it. It's still there. But at any rate, really cool this morning to find one so close to town. Most of these are way out in the middle of nowhere. And there's even some on private property. You know, like I said earlier in my video, just got to be real careful about that. If at all possible, just make sure you got the owner's permission. In some cases, the actual road part of the bridge is open to the public, but you can't get down any further than that because anything below the road is private property. Now, that's not all cases. I've actually been to one bridge where the whole thing was on private property, but I got the owner's permission. Just happened to be out that day on a little tractor riding around on his property, and I told him what I did, and he said, well, I've got one on my property. You're more than welcome to go down, go look at it. That was just so cool that day. But yeah, I mean, that's just pretty cool. And of course, I've already been on this side, and you can't see it nearly as well as you can the other side. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a lot of traffic this morning. This actually goes on over here. There's more baseball fields on this side. It makes it nice when there's not much traffic and you can go see these places. But when I said that a car's coming down the road, well, that's okay. I'm going to kind of walk down here a little ways more. Now I think you can see that third arch maybe a little bit better. No, not really. It's just really kind of buried. Well, I think that's just about it for this bridge. I was going to walk down here and show you some other things, so while I'm here, that's actually called Sellers Park. They also have a Panhandle Railroad Museum here, which I've been to that. I've been in there and walked around. Very fascinating. There's a lot of railroad memorabilia. A bunch of, for being such a little museum, it's packed full. It really is. We might as well meander down this way a little bit, and I'll show you some other things down here. I'm going to walk a little ways. The name of that festival escapes me right now. I think it's Sunflower Festival, maybe. I should know it all the years I've been going to this festival. And you know, for Wellington being such a small town, they put on a really nice festival. They have a parade on Friday evening, and then of course Saturday is the main day for the festival. Like I said, they've got car show, they've got all kind of vendors, the museum's open, they have all kinds of things for the kids to do. Pretty cool for a little town. Now, the town I live in, they used to have a festival every year, but unfortunately they stopped doing that quite a few years ago. I'll probably walk down here to the museum and then walk back. And here's this footbridge right over here. It's really disappointing this year there are no festivals, no parades, nothing. Our local car show has been canceled. I've talked with a lot of people that are really very upset over all this being shut down, because I mean, that's what we look forward to here, is these little festivals, and like the state fair's even been canceled. And you know, I think it's ironic that the city leaders, from what I read in the paper now, they're already kind of in a slump financial wise because of all this. What I don't understand is some things are allowed to go on while others are not. And I don't understand what the difference is. All the major amusement parks like Six Flags Over Texas, well, now I don't know about them. What I meant to say was like Disney World, Disneyland, major amusement parks, Knott's Berry Farm. Oh, I don't know. There's a bunch of them that are open. Now, you know, there's precautions that you have to take. I understand that. Like frequent hand washing and wearing a mask and all that. I understand that. But I mean, literally, they're still open. I mean, that is crazy that these huge amusement parks, things of that nature, are open as we speak. But yet, in our state, in our particular neck of the woods, the powers that be have shut everything down. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Disneyland and Disney World would be 100 times larger than anything we have on our local level. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's just my own personal opinion. You know, they were saying that you don't bite the hand that feeds you, and there was no reason for them to shut all these events completely down. Not when, like I said, well, like at Pigeon Forge, you know, you got Dollywood. It's open. You know, Silver Dollar City, just outside of Branson, Missouri, is open. And I'm sure there's many more that I can't mention, I can't think of right now. But I watch these people that, they do these videos for a living, and I've seen them, they've been to these places. That's just crazy. They've got a skateboard area over there where people can ride on their skateboards. Now this area in here, all in through here, is where the car show is. And then of course your vendors will be set up all down this dirt road, would be all the vendors. And this area here would be just filled full of different vendors. Food vendors. You know, they sell everything, jewelry, sunglasses, handmade crafts. I mean, it's really pretty good size for being, like I said earlier, just a small community. And of course, like I said earlier, it's been canceled too. There's another little pedestrian bridge right over here. I can remember, it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. They used to have a talent show put on by one of our local radio stations. And they did that just right over here in this area. Just right by this pedestrian bridge. And that was fun to watch people perform. I think the car show is my biggest deal. I love car shows. And the last run car show in our city is a pretty huge event. People come from all over the state, sometimes even different states, to show off their pride and joys. But I like the old classics, the 50s, the 60s, and earlier than that even. I enjoy the old classics. The old Chevys, the old Fords, the old Buicks, you know, the old Pontiacs and that sort of thing. There's another little creek. And there again, this is obviously the Hargis Creek. Wooden platform here just feels a little, I don't know. It's safe to walk on, but, well, there's one right there. That board I'm stepping on right here is a little, I mean, it kind of gives in a little bit. It's kind of scary. They need to come in here and maybe reinforce some of these boards. Because normally when this festival's going on, there's a lot of people. I mean, they enjoy things like this. And I know I do too, and I miss it. I think I guess the only thing that we can hope for is that everything will go on next year. But you know, not everybody can afford to go to these big high-dollar amusement parks. Some of these amusement parks, it's hundreds of dollars to get in. And that's for one day. You know, even if you get some kind of a discount, you're probably still looking at, oh, I don't know, pretty close to $100 per person. That's with the discount. Got an old train over here we're going to go look at here in a minute. But there is the museum right here. Really cool old building. I love old buildings too. I love old buildings. You know, I think why is because they have withstood the test of time. Actually, there's a sign up here. It says, it may not come out on the video, but it says erected 1882. And this is actually the Panhandle Railroad museum. You can spend a lot of time in here if you so desired. They have a lot to look at. But anyway, we have a few things that we can look at out here. Right across the street is the VFW, and they put on a breakfast, all-you-can-eat breakfast, Saturday morning of this festival. All you can eat. Public is invited. I've been in there and ate. It's only like, oh, I don't know, I can't remember. It can't be more than about $5 for all you can eat. Now, you know, I mean, it's not a huge buffet, but still, I mean, you know, for $5, I mean, it's not bad. They've got this little car here that they use. If I can kind of get up here a little bit, kind of let you see it without the fence. Anyway, that's anybody that's living in this area might want to make that short drive and check it out. It's pretty cool. Let's go check out this old train over here. Keep it in really nice condition. And downtown Wellington actually has some very old buildings that they still use. I think their Chamber of Commerce is in one of the old buildings. I've actually been in that building. Kind of get out from underneath it. Sun here a little bit. There you go. This is their train. It's actually the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. It's huge, huge locomotive. Check that out. We're going to walk all the way around it. Here you go. Railroad crossing. Look out for the cars. Can you spell that without any R's? That's an oldie. I don't know if I should give a spoiler alert for that or not. You would think that you wouldn't be able to spell that without any R's, but actually you can. Can you spell that without any R's? Keyword being that. T-H-A-T. That's an oldie. That goes back a long ways. I can remember saying that when I was just a kid. Now we're on the back side. We're going to go up there here in a minute. They'll let you walk up to the part where the engineer would sit. And of course this would be, I think this is where they store the coal and all that for the burners. This thing is massive, it's huge. The only thing they ask is you do not climb on the outside of the train. That'd be a little dangerous, actually, I would think. A little dangerous. There's a bell up there. Oh, that bird scared me. And of course, there's our headlight. And the front of the train. Okay, we're going to try to go up here and check out where the engineer would sit. It's really narrow. Really narrow. Okay, this will be where the engineer would sit. Look at all the handles. Of course, nothing moves anymore. Not too much. Well, maybe it does too. No, not really. And there's some kind of, it says air gauge. And there's just all kinds of levers up in here. I can imagine what it would have been like engineering this huge train. There's another levers here. More levers. All kinds of levers. And that just goes down there a little ways. Well, I would imagine, oh gosh, there's all kinds of levers. I can only imagine sitting here looking at this view as you're powering this huge locomotive down the tracks. Huh, that's crazy. More levers over here. There's another lever right there. Yeah, all kind of levers. There's one right there. Yep. Yeah, I can only imagine what it'd be like standing here operating this huge piece of machinery. Oh, that's crazy. Now, that's really just about it in here. Kind of give you a bird's eye view here, standing here, operating this train. There's a lever right here. I imagine you'd be operating. And looking down this view, rumbling down the track. Boy, there'd be a lot to pay attention to. a lot of levers and switches and dials and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. Alright, well, we're going to go back down now. This stairway is very narrow. Of course, I got my camera bag on me too. Here we go. We're going to walk down these again. Here we go. Alright. Okay. Well, I guess we'll work our way back. Okay, well, let's walk on back here. Very quiet here this morning. Seen a couple people walking their pets and somebody there on the skateboard contraption over there. And I believe the name of this park is Sellers Park. It's undoubtedly named after somebody. Very well maintained. Looks like the grass has been mowed recently. It's very clean. Just kind of do a 360 here, where we're at this morning. The old 1067 train. Supposed to be another hot one today. I think yesterday it was, I don't know, I think by 3 o'clock it was like 100 degrees. They got the high today in the upper 80s, but then, you know, you figure in the heat index it could be hovering right around 100 degrees. Of course, it's been known to be a lot warmer than that here in Kansas. I've had summers, you've had weeks of triple digits every day, day after day after day, and I love summertime. Absolutely, that's my favorite time of year. But that does, after a while, get a little old. I mean, I love the longer days. I love summertime, I do. If it would stay summertime all year round, that would be so cool. But then again, I also enjoy the fall. I think the most I would miss would be the changing of the seasons, though. I mean, summer is my absolutely favorite time of the year, but I would miss, I think, the spring and the fall. Now, wintertime, I would not miss wintertime at all. Not even a little bit. I really do not care for winter. Church bell ringing. It must be 8 o'clock. Well, no, that's a lot more than 8, I think. I lost track, actually. Oh yeah, that represents something else, and I'm not sure what. Really ringing though. Finally stopped. Wowee. Oh, spoke too soon. There it goes. Finally quit. Well, did it? No. Well, what's it doing? Huh. Well, okay. Maybe it finally quit. All right. Well, that's a lot more than 8 times, so I don't know what that was all about. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little adventure this morning. I'm glad y'all came along. Hope you have a nice day. It's Thursday, the weekend's coming up. Looks like it's going to be a nice day for the next few days, at least in our neck of the woods. Again, thank you for joining me. And like I always say, I'll catch you on the next video. So, bye for now.